Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for being here as always, and today we're going to take a spoiler-free look at A Certain Point of View. The book, A Certain Point of View. I just realized that sentence didn't quite make sense. Anyways, let's jump right into it. So A Certain Point of View is just a collection of 40 different short stories, all taking place around A New Hope, all written by different authors, and it's an all-star cast of authors. We got Greg Rucka, we got E.K. Johnston, we've got Claudia Gray, Pablo Hidalgo. I don't know why I keep adding an L there. Anyways, so this is just a collection of 40 short stories all taking place around A New Hope. It was put together to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, A New Hope being released in theaters. And they're just fun little side stories. Like, there are some not so great ones, I'll admit. I'll keep those to myself, though, until the spoiler review, because I don't want to tarnish your enjoyment of those stories if you do pick this up. But they are far outweighed by the really, really fun stories and really, really good stories and really, really gut-wrenching stories. Like, there's a good reason why I'm deliberately wearing my Biggs Dark Vader t-shirt right now. Let's just say that. The Bray Organa story was phenomenal. The one that might have been overlooked, I've seen being overlooked in a couple of reviews, is the Jawa from that's on the Sandcrawler. That's a really fascinating, fun story. I love that. I love those tiny little bits and tiny little things that just kind of like, oh, okay, so that person was doing that thing. Oh, okay. And oh, over here, somebody was doing this thing. Oh, okay, that's cool. Like I said, there are some not so great ones, but they are vastly outweighed by the really, really phenomenal ones. Another good thing about this book is that I don't have any confirmed sources for you, but I have heard on a couple of different podcasts and some panels that were recorded at, like, I think Salt Lake Comic Con and just a couple of other different places, that some members of the story group are kind of seeing this as more of like canon adjacent, kind of the same level of canon as the Freemaker Adventures, the Lego Freemaker Adventures TV series is. They're just fun little stories. You don't need to worry about them being important or whether or not they're going to impact something. They're all just fun little stories. Just, you can sit back and enjoy them without having to worry about how real they are. And that's another great thing for new readers too. They're super digestible stories that you can get through in between 10 to 30 minutes at a time. And you sit back and enjoy it. And that's why I love these kind of short form stories. All in all, I would highly recommend this book to, Star Wars literature old guard, people that have been around since Heir to the Empire, and people who are just starting to dive into the Star Wars literature ocean. I would recommend picking up the hardcover or even the Kindle edition before picking up the audiobook. The audiobook is very, very well produced, but at least for me here in the United States, the Audible version is a little bit barked and trying to jump around is a little crazy. Like, I think even though there's only 40 short stories and those short stories are about as long as a normal novel's chapter, the Audible version, I'm just bringing it up real quick right here. The Audible version of this book has like over 200 chapters in it, and they're like 3 minutes long because for some reason they decided to separate each individual story into multiple chapters, and you can't navigate to like different stories, so you can't really jump around when you first pick up this book. And I do think that there's something to be said, because I went just story 1 through story 40, because this entire all these short stories take place in kind of a chronological order, maybe not to each other, but in reference to A New Hope. So we start out on the Tantive 4 with the first few stories, and then we move down to Tatooine, and then we get the next few stories, and then we move on to the Death Star, and then we get the next few stories. And maybe we get a pit stop on Alderaan with one of those stories. And then we go to Yavin, and then we go to the Death Star fight, and then we go to the aftermath, and so on and so forth. So I would recommend going 1 through 40, but if you do plan on jumping around, don't pick up the Audible version. That's just been my experience. Anyways, I gotta leave for work here in about 30 minutes, so unfortunately I need to kind of cut this video a tiny bit short. but I will try and get it up as fast as possible. And I just want to let you guys know that I am streaming the Battlefront 2 beta over on the Twitch channel, which I've got linked down in the description. I'll be doing a stream on Saturday for about 2 to 3 hours, and then I will be streaming for a much longer time on Sunday night. And I might even stream Monday morning. We'll see. It depends on where we're at. But we're definitely going to be doing that. Going to be trying to work on a spoiler review for this this book, certain point of view. Going to be getting the first episode of Star Warsology. I've got that script entirely written and everything. I just need to get the narration down perfectly and then edit everything together. What else? Oh, and the Battlefront 2 beta video will be up as soon as I can get that up as well. Thank you guys as always. Thank you guys for your patience while I'm pulling all these extra hours at work. And I love you guys very much. You guys have a wonderful one. May the Force be with you. Take care.